Hello everybody, Sean here from Somm Wine Club, and I have got some wine for you. This is the 2022 JoieFarm Pinot Gris. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I didn't know JoieFarm made a Pinot Gris, you'd be right, because this is the first time that they've ever done so. JoieFarm started on the Naramata bench back in 2004, and I was excited to put this wine in the box this month because not only do I have a close personal relationship to one of the owners, Alistair Veen, who is a good friend of mine, owns a restaurant out in South Surrey called Tap Restaurant, but the Pinot Gris was also made for my other best friend and the restaurant group that he manages the wine program for. So the Oddfish Nook Tavola wine group has the JoieFarm Pinot Gris as an exclusive, but I was able to carve out a couple of cases for the wine club this month, just as a little special treat for our 2-year anniversary happening right now. Even on top of all that, I spent last summer at the winery. I spent most of the tasting room season living up in the Okanagan and working in the tasting room, walking through these vineyards, seeing this fruit grow from baby buds on the vine to full-grown fruit. So this is the first time that I've actually been as close to a wine that's included in the box as this one. So the JoieFarm Pinot Gris is made from 2 vineyards that the winery purchased back in 2021, the Seacrest Mountain Vineyard down in Oliver and the Smethurst Vineyard in Naramata. So 80% comes from Seacrest and 20% from Smethurst. And this is not your just everyday run-of-the-mill Okanagan Pinot Gris. I know there are a lot of them out there, but I wouldn't put something in the box that I think that you could just get an example of from anywhere. So Joie's always been kind of inspired by Alsace, is one of the taglines for the wines that they've produced. They have always had a focus on these really pretty aromatic varieties like Gewürztraminer, Muscat, and Riesling. But I personally have always felt that they were excluding Pinot Gris as one of the noble grapes of Alsace, just out of a desire not to crowd the field and not to just add another BC Pinot Gris to the mix. Well, now they have a Pinot Gris of their own, and I'm telling you, this is not just going to disappear into the mass of BC Pinot Gris. This wine is awesome. It has so much character, so much texture and weight and concentration. This is a Pinot Gris for people who actually like to taste something in their wine. It's spiced stone fruit, it's ripe orchard fruit, there's apple and golden delicious apple and pear, there's a little undertone of white peach, there's, like I said, this kind of spiced, blanched almond, kind of nuttiness to it, there's an undertone of floral, there's citrus blossom and honeysuckle. And rather than being totally bone dry, this does have a touch of residual sugar, a little bit of sweetness to kind of lift up the fruit components of the wine and give it a little bit more complexity. That's so well balanced. The 2022 growing season was a challenging year. It was very cool to start off the vintage, so things were delayed, in some cases almost a month. Some of the grapes weren't coming off of the vines until the first couple of days of November last year. So that means that the fruit took a long time to develop. It retained a lot of freshness, a lot of acidity, a lot of bright energy. And if you were able to pick fruit from the right spots where things were able to develop complexity and flavor, you have a wonderful balance of fruit and spice and acidity and brightness, which I think is one of the hallmarks of the Okanagan and the wines that we produce here. So yeah, this is not sweet. This is not a sweet wine. This is not even off dry. This wine is, in our tasting group, we use the term dry-ish because it's not totally dry. It's definitely not off dry. The acidity balances the sweetness really well, but you notice just an ever so slight hint of it on the finish, and makes it also a very versatile food wine. I'm going to go and get a delicious sandwich from Potluck Hockery, which is around the corner from my house. They have like a breaded chicken sandwich with like a Pan Asian slaw, and this kind of subtle spiced mayo on the bun, and it gives you something to play off of the fat when acid, and subtle spice and sweetness. There's interplay on multiple levels, and that's going to be my lunch today. I'm really excited. Everyone who is part of the April Somm Wine Club is getting a bottle of the JoieFarm Pinot Gris. If anybody out there elsewise wants a bottle of the JoieFarm Pinot Gris, you're going to have to go down to Oddfish Restaurant on West First and Cypress, or out to Tap Restaurant in South Surrey, where they will have this wine available. Other than that, I'm sorry. Just have to look at all of us enjoying this delicious JoieFarm Pinot Gris, and maybe next there will be something special for you in a box. So, thank you for 2 years of doing this together and exploring great wines. I look forward to another 2 and beyond. So, thank you. Cheers. Have a great day.